Hey everyone, I'm rather Incoherent, and today the deck is Unholy Mech Death Knight. The idea with normal Unholy decks is just you make a sticky board, you use Grave Strength as Bloodlust, and you kill your opponent. But in terms of making a sticky board, stuff like a Click Clocker, Annoy-o-Tron, Amalgam in the Deep to generate more minions, Bronze Gatekeeper to make them durable, Replicating Menace for big death rattles. In terms of Bloodlust effects, Wargear isn't quite one, but it's sort of like one. In terms of sticky minions, Mothership's a good 6-drop. There's a lot that Mech has to do that is in line with that game plan. It's not the same deck at all as normal Unholy, but the game plan is incredibly similar, and I'm interested in playing both this and then normal Unholy afterwards and seeing how I feel about it by comparison to the normal list. I think that I expect to play this and be disappointed in it, but it looks sick. It looks like it could legitimately be better than normal Unholy. It's just not going to be. I just know that it's not going to live up to that promise. But let's go test it just in case. Before we get started though, if you haven't already, please do subscribe to the channel, like, comment, all that stuff really does help the channel grow and I do greatly appreciate it. Anyways, on with the show. All right, we've got a Rogue, which is almost certainly a great matchup for us. Rogue does not have a good time against aggressive curves. These are not the cards you want in your early game. The Necromancer on its own isn't good enough. I'm actually gonna hold Gorillabot because I'm so likely to hit a 1 or 2-drop mech. Like Mistake, like Amalgam of the Deep, technically mechs, they count. Unfortunately, my Amalgam of the Deep can't target a pure mech. It has Mech, Beast, and all. So the Amalgam of the Deep is a little bit awkward here, but Gorillabot's still great on its own. My opponent's gonna be a little bit confused when Mistake comes down. All right, we got turn 1 Door of Shadows, nothing really interesting there. We slam down Mistake and we get on with our lives. I wonder if there's any consideration to throwing in one-man band to this deck. What types do I have? I have Mech Beast, I have a couple of Amalgams. I think that's really it though. I've got a School Teacher for Nagas. It doesn't seem like it's quite enough to justify doing. I'm gonna coin out Gorillabot, I think. That 3-2 is a slight problem. I'd rather not kill every minion I have. Zilliax doesn't feel good, but it might be the play. Frequency Oscillator is effectively free, but that doesn't really matter. I'm gonna take Zilliax. It feels more relevant somehow. It feels like the only way I lose this is if it's a Burn Mage variant, or not a Burn Mage variant, if it's a Burn Miracle variant. I don't know how you would fit Door of Shadows and Concoctions into the Burn variants of Miracle. So this is gonna be a more traditional variant, meaning Zilliax is probably the wrong pick, right? Because these cards weren't in my Burn variant, none of them were. And I don't know how you would fit all of them, because it also implies, as you just saw, Potion Belts, Putricide. Oh yeah, of course. 0 mana sprint on 3. Why not? I guess it's a 2 mana sprint, which is still incredibly unreasonable. The deck's a lot better. Like, you always use the Concoction package if the Concoction package is gonna hit sprint every time, right? This is the kind of guy that just knows what he's getting when he plays it. It's disgusting. Oh, yeah. How much mana did you play on your turn 3? 2, 5, 6, 8, 10, 16 mana on turn 3, super reasonable. Can't really hold this. I mean, it doesn't do anything. It just daggers up. He has a 4-1 left. He goes face for 3. He has 2 mana left. Face for 6, rather. School Teacher's not going to solve anything because it's going to come down on a board with the 4-1 without the mana to play the students. So again, not really relevant. I can play Replicating Menace and it'll be a slight problem for him. Huh. That's really weird. Seems like that was worse than playing Hero Power. Who cares about infusing Door of Shadows? What are you doing? Why would you bother? Just like he's just living on a dream over here that it's somehow gonna work out. Why would you do that? What if it just hits prep and you end your turn and lose it? I guess he has spells in hand, like he had the Potion Belt. Stop that! What a piece of shit! Could you stop high rolling for a couple of seconds? How much mana have we played this turn? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know what we're playing now. I'm assuming this is Gone Fishing. 8. No, keep going. 9. Yep. You have the prep for it? Want to keep going? No? Okay, so in turns 3 and 4, my opponent has played 9 and 16, I think was the count, 27 mana and drawn 8 cards. Why am I not already dead? What's happening? This is an easy School Teacher, by the way, and there's nothing else that's remotely close to good. Frost Strike would normally be the play, but as I'm worried about dying, maybe it's Vampiric Blood. My opponent very graciously didn't play Astral Revive or any of his 1-mana Colossals last turn, but even that's not enough to mean I get to win this. Like, look at my sick turn 8 play, right? I put a whole 5 power on the board. Not Gigafin. I mean, to be fair, this isn't a board worth Gigafinning, but... Dude, please, you play Astalor. Stop letting... Why would you not play Neptulon last turn? You are aware that he hits face for 16, right? It's a very large number, dude. You didn't need to hold the Neptulon because you weren't getting rush value. What are you doing? Man, it's a shame that playing badly doesn't lose games. Oh, fuck me. Alright, if we could avoid having an opponent that spends about 5 times more mana than... Druid. Alright, cool. We'll do it again. Just please don't have, like, Coin Innervate into ramp. I'm not asking for much. I would just like to play the game with roughly the same amount of mana as you, if you don't mind, if that's not too much. Anyway, I'm tossing Battlefield Necro because I have no Corpse Generation on 1. Double Mistake is not what you're looking for with this deck. Maybe it was a mistake to hold Mistake. What an awkward sentence. Typically, index with Mistake is a 1-drop like Totem Shaman and Amalgam Mechs for Mage. I tend to find that I don't like Mistake in my opening hand. I'm okay with mulliganing into it, obviously, but I don't want to hold it. So maybe I should have tossed it here, too. Alright, at least this time, when we get to turn 5, the Famished Fool will be online and we can make good plays with it, as opposed to crying about how we need to spend our entire turn enabling it when he has 2 1-mana Colossals in hand. Oh man, that game was a travesty. We just play the one that is better, but it's not like we're just getting a random card here. I think I'd just rather Chillfall and Baron to play next turn. So no 1-drop, no Free Spirits, no, what's it called, Peaceful Piper. Groovy Cat's fine by me. Oh, yes, thank you. I no longer need your services, Chillfall and Baron. If he's able to kill my 4/8, I'll be surprised, but he could do it with like double Rake. No, that's too much mana. He has the coin, he could do it. Hero Power, Coin, Rake would be able to kill my 4/8, but it's also a huge investment. Looks like it's just Widowbloom Seedsman, probably. Yeah. I can Hero Power, and I don't have a 2-drop to go with it, so I wouldn't do that, so I'm just playing this. I'll take the 1/1 zombies with Reborn, thanks. Good job, Amalgam of the Deep. Like, a big part of the reason to run any mech deck is just Bronze Gatekeeper being a massive tempo play. If you're on the play and you have a Bronze Gatekeeper play, it's so hard for your opponent to come back. Yeah, Peaceful Piper's a little bit slow here. I can't play Grave Strength and beat him to death, unfortunately, but I can get started. Famished Fool is nowhere near infused because I'm winning too hard. Awkward. I can get some zombies going, though. I'm gonna trade this just to make room on my board. Chillfall to get some more fuel. I'm gonna play Click Clocker instead for a better magnetic target, and we're gonna go face for 8, obviously. I can't really imagine losing here, but if his hand is just combo pieces by coincidence, he could play like a new Precon into some sick combo and be in the game. It's unlikely, but possible. Okay, so he's got Free Spirits, he's got Spread the Word, he's also got Lethal staring him down probably, right? Even the uncharged Grave Strength is 7 damage here. I'm not counting this, he's dead. He knows he's dead, he's just hoping to find a way out. Rake's a great start, though. How many more corpses do I need to charge this up? Not many. We've only lost 2 minions so far this game, that's pretty funny. You hit the 4/4. I know you don't want to, but there's not really a decision here. Unless you have second Rake, in which case you rake the 4/4 and then you hit the 2/2. There's still not a decision. I don't know what we're thinking about. Just die gracefully, but more importantly, die quickly. Don't make me think too long about this, please. I'm tired of filling the air. Let's get on with it. Cool, he's at 11 health. I have 1, 2, 3. Never mind that one. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Exactly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, plus 5, 11 exactly. Actually, I have much more than 11, because instead of doing that, I can do this. Activate the Grave Strength. Yeah, I also had Wargear for lethal. I didn't even look at what I had drawn, because I was already counting the other forms of lethal I had. That was a bit of a rough game for the Druid. I'll be honest with you, this is not what I wanted to see in my opening hand against any class. Alright, excellent. We successfully missed our entire curve. If we could top deck some 1 or 2 drops, I'd really— nope, Famished Fool isn't it. Please stop that. I really need a 2-drop next turn. My aggro deck about building a sticky, persistent board and charging up it with corpses by using Grave Strength gets a lot worse if I just don't play any minions for the first 2 turns. I run 12 of them. I'd really appreciate any of them. Thank you. It's obviously better with the corpse, but I'll still take it. What's the coin 3-drop in this deck? That's real weird. Oh, rush the stage. Yeah. That makes sense. God, it's so gross. I'm just playing naked Gorillabot too. Who actually enables their cards? God forbid you draw one of the 10 mechs in your curve that come before Gorillabot, right? So replicating Menace gives me a 6/6 with Death Rattle 3 bots, or Pozzik just gives me Pozzik. Well, I play Pozzik. I know he has plans that don't involve dealing with this shit. Really, you're not going for the 3/4? Interesting. Anyway, Pozzik. And I'd rather that thing did not get to have infinite attack this turn.
It is our time to step out of the shadows.
Yep, like I said, he has plans that don't involve playing a bunch of microbots. Or not microbots, what are they called? Audiobots?
If 3 rights make a live.
It's a good turn. It's just a shame I have Death Rattle summon all the minions from his hands. Is this infused? No, of course not. Hero Power, Mistake. Did I just slam Replicating Menace naked? Oh no, I slam it onto the Mistake. There we go. I figured it out eventually. He can't play both Audiobots, so Pozzik still has a good Death Rattle. It's fighting for board, it's doing good. Vengeful Walloper Audiobot is not good for me, obviously, but it could have been a hell of a lot worse if he had 3 mana to play however he wanted. He thought he could discard it to his deck to get it. That is not how the card works, unfortunately. It is still a free discard, though. We have Marrowgar on 8, so provided we don't just, like, die immediately here, we're in a decent enough spot. The issue is we absolutely can die before the Marrowgar comes down. We have Annoy-o-Tron Bronze Gatekeeper, or Annoy-o-Tron Gorillabot Bronze Gatekeeper. Do we have the mana for that? 3, 6, 7. We have just enough mana to play Annoy-o-Tron and then slam Bronze Gatekeeper onto a Gorillabot. Unfortunately, we can't answer that unless he leaves stuff on the board to answer it. With a 5/1 going into a 3/5, I find it unlikely he leaves the answers on board. So he just gets a second Wretched Exile turn here, and I lose the game. You're not allowed to let them start the turn with a Wretched Exile on board. I could top deck Mothership. I didn't, though. I think it's now Click Clocker instead of the Gorillabot because I want better defensive plays. Behold my army of Annoy-o-Trons. Now, unfortunately, he just gets to play Wretched Exile all turn, and that's just so much steam for him. I do have Marrowgar, so that's nice. But it's only got 11 corpses. It's gonna spend 6 getting them on board. So I get 5 buffs, which isn't really that much. It's enough to stabilize, but not enough to win, and I have no follow-up, so I'll just die afterwards. And again, like, he just clears my whole board without committing a single card and builds a board of his own to boot. You just can't let this be on the board for a second turn. Yep. Just cleared my entire board, didn't lose anything. I think his board is marginally larger than it started off, even. Cool, Marrowgar, please save me. I don't really think it's possible, but I'd appreciate it if you tried. So what do I have? I've got a 7/7 and a couple of 3/3s. Well, one of the 3/3s obviously goes there. I don't value this 1/1 at all. I value the board space more. Do I have fear of AoEs? No. This deck is clearly full outcast. It doesn't have room for AoEs. It does have room for stuff like Predation to easily deal with this, so I'd rather trade off 3/3s here. All right, Marrowgar, let's see if you manage to save me or if I'm still just dead to Sitheno. I mean, that's a lot of steam and all, but like you do have to deal with the Marrowgar. I guess I have to deal with whatever he does as well, though, because I'm at such low health because I've been losing the game up until now. I'm not even paying attention. I'm just completely zoned out. I'm like, yeah, he's doing stuff. He'll finish eventually. Tell me when he's done. Yeah, so we had to go through the 7/7 the really hard way. He clears everything but No, he actually leaves it up and goes for lethal. Well, I've got the Mothership to try to stop it. I have no way to pop the Mothership. If I go for an Undead with this Amalgam, like I'm gonna be playing Mothership Amalgam anyway, so it's better to Amalgam first and try to find a way to stay alive. Darkon Rathier would be an answer. There we go. Yeah, I'd rather do that. Definitely rather do that. That feels more valuable than killing a 2/2 with the Mothership. I'm still dead to Sitheno combo, unfortunately. He apparently does not have Sitheno combo, so I'm happy to hear it. Yep, really glad I discovered first. Probably would have been dead this turn without it. Definitely would have been dead next turn without it. Surprised that he only has 12 cards left in deck. I thought it would be much lower than that with how much value you got off Wretched Exile. I guess it just didn't generate that much draw. It was mostly Securities and Wayward Sages, wasn't it? We've got Mothership. We have another one of these. The play is Hero Power Amalgam Mothership, so we do this first again. Have I spit corpses? No. Wait, they're gone, so I've done Marrowgar. This is free. This is a taunt, which has value. But if I play it, I'm not playing the Mothership. And I feel like I need to play the Mothership. I need to have some way out here. I can play this and look, rather. Because I can find Annoy-o-Bots and I can find Bronze Gatekeepers. I can still find Zilliax. That would be huge. Bronze Gatekeeper's good enough. Biggest taunt possible. This. Hero Power. Hit there, kill the rush, go face. Threat and 2-turn lethal. I think we got through it. I still could just be dead to Sitheno combo, but 10 cards left in deck, they could include Sitheno. Definitely not how he wants the turn to start off, but if he just draws lethal, it's fine, right? Because Sitheno can go over if he has like Predation to the face. The first one would hit here, then on the second one, I'd be at 4 health, it would still go to my 2/3 instead. That ain't it. That is not it. I'm alive. You'd never do that if you have Sitheno in hand. Is there a way I could be dead here?
Yeah, let's go.
Helvaria 2. 1, 2, 3, 9. Helvaria doesn't do it. Helvaria's 1 off. Ah, that's it. That'll be enough. Oh, I wasn't counting Helvaria herself. Unfortunate. Oh, man. Ah, that's so gross. That's so gross. Almost. In general, though, if you play a deck and you say almost every game, it's a bad deck, right? I don't think this is a bad deck, but I look at this, I'm like, man. So I've been drawing pretty shit curves every game with this deck. Theoretically, the deck's really good. I have to toss Replicating Menace to try to ensure a good curve. I obviously would like to just hit a 2-drop and then play Replicating Menace to top off a curve of all mechs. But yeah, you can't assume that'll happen because you could just draw this. You could draw your entire non-mech top end and just be dead. So I think the reason that mech decks are bad, I've been having a hard time articulating what it was because I played some mech mage, I've played some mech shaman. I've been trying to figure out what it was that made the mech decks bad. And I think I finally figured it out. It's the same thing that makes Big Warrior bad. In most decks, if you draw your top end first, it's a bad draw, but you can still win. But with mech decks, there's nothing to magnetize onto and your top end doesn't do anything. And that's the same problem that Big Warrior has. If you draw Blackrock and roll after your minions, you just lose. It's a rogue. I want to be the aggressor. I'm going to take the Wargear. So in decks where the bad curve goes from bad to an auto loss because your magnetized minions have no targets, or because you're buffing a deck that has no big minions, I think those are the decks where there's something hard to pin down about what's wrong. Their bad draws are just disproportionately worse than they should be. Now, obviously that's scary as shit. However, I do have a corpse. That corpse is real important right now. Thank God I'm unholy. That's all I had to say about this. Now, he plays air guitarist. Unfortunately, I will have to Necromancer again. All right, Necromancer again. Don't have the Bone Spike, though. All right, cool. He didn't have Bone Spike. That's wonderful.
I know.
Yep, I'm playing for taunts. I just want all the taunts in the world because fuck that dagger. I ain't doing it. Actually, I have a corpse already. I'll have 2 taunts. If you just want to sit on the dagger and wait, I'm going to give you something to think about. Absolutely not playing Necromancer on 5 there. Let's get that Wargear in there. So this is a situation where I feel really good about the mechs, right? I had a good curve with them. I topped off into magnetized minions. It rolled them over. It was great. However, I feel like the bad curves are still worse than they are in most other decks.
Fan of this.
You're just dead on board is the problem. Like, he is doing stuff. It looks impressive, but he has 9 health, and I have way too much damage left on board, so there's not a chance he gets out of this, right? Like, what sort of insane prep plays do you have to have? Prep Special Concoction to destroy 2? That would do it. Special Concoction? What description is that? What am I doing with my words? All right, we have a Druid, and this feels like a terrible matchup for Druids. I think I hold both of these if I hit any low-cost mech. Am I optimistic enough to hold them anyway? The Wargear rather, probably not. Gatekeeper I hold against Druid. Any small minion on second with the coin. Well, I missed my 1-drop, unfortunately, and I can't coin 2 into 3. If I could just hit a 1-drop, like if I could just rip Click Clocker off the top, no, of course not. That's just pass. So here there's a very real chance. Oh, right on time, shithead, thanks. All right, there's a much lower chance that my board actually gets cleared now. That's good at least. I'll take another one. Okay, so if he has Hero Power Rake, I'm in a bad spot. He doesn't, we're fine. I mean, he has Hero Power just to clear, though, is the problem. And then he has Spread the Word to fill the curve and have the best possible play. Grumble, grumble. But we still have the Bronze Gatekeeper as a target for the Magnetic. It's not the way we want to play Bronze Gatekeeper, but it's where we're at. Imagine having your curve get outplayed by a Druid who played 1 minion, right? Groovy Cat just beat the Met curve on its own, despite the fact that this deck runs multiple cards that value traded. It's absolutely ridiculous. Is that silence? I can't play around it if it is silence. I just got to assume it's not and go face, right?
Deploying countermeasures.
Yep, nope, I'm not playing around silence. If it's silence, I'll go ahead and lose. I look at killing that 4/4, and I'm just like, wow, what a terrible play that would be. How far behind I would be if I took the trade there and just let him play Nourish. Like, he doesn't even need to silence it, right? I can just have the 5/3. He's not in danger. I have to get face damage. I have to do something. Coin Mothership trade is pretty solid as well, and I would lose that option if I killed it, obviously. Coin Mothership face? Oh, wait, it's not magnet. For a second there, I thought I could coin Mothership face because of magnetized, but then I remembered that not every minion in the game is magnetic. We drop this. We get another Mothership. Sure, why not? We magnetize him and we go face for what we can. No matter what he does, I want to ram a Mothership into it. We have 3, 6, 7, 8, plus 4, plus 5, plus 6. We have 6 mana, so Hero Power Grave Strength is not charged yet, so 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, plus 5, 14. I believe that hiding under this card, he has like 16 health, so it's not quite enough. Yeah, I'm 1 off. Well, on the bright side, it is not dead, actually. Oh, because it had to hit multiple times, it will die. So that's good, at least. Famished Fool is active now. Is that the best thing I've got? No, I just put down the Mothership, even though it sucks, right? This probably draws a 1-drop. Yeah. And I think I just need more bodies on board to thread in with Grave Strength. And with the Mistake especially, well, any 1-drop, but with a mech on board, I have threats with Magnetic Wargears and the like. Let's see what's happening. He's got the hero power, he's got the rake. I would like one of these mechs to stick very, very much, because I don't want to be in a situation where I'm just playing a Mothership on 7 and passing. That would be miserable.
Nature speaks through my tunes.
That'll be a free spirit probably. Could be second Creepy Cat though.
We all exist in harmony.
We don't have Marrowgar yet. We're getting there. Yep, just draw all the cards in the world. I'm at 17, he's at 12, like you do. Okay, coming back to our turn, we have Wargear Face. It's a play. What else do we have? Wargear Face puts him down 7, 8 to 6 health. I don't have the mana for hero power plus 2 of these, so I can't kill him from that. It's just Mothership trade. What am I even really thinking about here? The fact that Mothership trade is super mana inefficient, that's what I'm thinking about. That it doesn't damage him. I just have to do it is the problem. I don't have any other play. Oh, those are all right mechs. I'll trade with the 1/1 to protect my 4/1. We have more corpses for a bigger Marrowgar like this as well. Realistically, we are almost certainly always playing Marrowgar this turn. There should be some sort of combo coming down very soon. Like, the Druid should do something. It's time. I know it's turn 8. It's a bit early for a combo to be going off, but like, still. I say it's early for a combo to be going off. That's because I'm a returning player. In the last season, Druids were popping off on like turn 5 and 6 regularly. But still, turn 8 for a 10 mana combo requiring several specific late game cards still feels ridiculous in me. I cannot get over how fast that is. Yeah, I'm gonna have to grind through all of his armor through both Underkings. It's fine, I can do that. I have double Grave Strength, just like the moment a board sticks, he dies. So I just slam Marrowgar, right? There's not a decision point here. It's just always slam Marrowgar. I could crash in the Mothership and have Replicating Menace behind it and stuff like that, but it's so slow. This actually threatens something, so we slam the Marrowgar. Because with double Grave Strength in hand, it kind of does something. Well, not really, because it does get rid of all of them. Yeah, that's true. I have 2 1/1 charges that I don't care about at all. They can go in here. Send a 1/1 there and a 3/3 there. Biggest board I could possibly set up. Let's see how it goes. Grave Strength is obviously worse at +1 than +3, but it's still something. We have 3, 10, and Knight. Oh, he has the Attorney at Maul combo. That's gross. Yeah, of course you have second one. So what do I do from here? Because he's gonna have a huge minion. It won't be threatening lethal though, so that's something. Is there anything in here that matters? I can transform that. I'm gonna play both School Teachers and try to find the transform effect. Obliterate will do. Let's play the other one though. Deathground. Oh, and a Mothership could be interesting. But second Obliterate might just be needed.
Pick me.
Cool, so that's the threat gone at least, but I'm still in danger of other combos. We have Mothership and the Mothership. We have a Replicating Menace for one of them. Oh, I should have considered Deathground. Oh, it's still 1 mana. It's not the 0 mana from Azir that I was thinking of. If it wasn't for that, I could do like Replicating Menace on the Mothership with Deathground, and then I'd have a Death Rattle that says, summon 15 minions. They'll fit on your board for sure this time. So he's getting down to fatigue, but that also means he's getting up to the Anubrakan combo. He can't miss much longer. I think this is the exact list I was running except with an ETC thrown in. I genuinely don't like ETC and it breaks my heart in every list. I want to like ETC, but in almost every deck when I try to optimize it, ETC is the first thing to go. There's like a card in ETC that's right for the deck, and it's not right for it to cost 4 extra mana. Anyway, that's a pretty good hero power. Just kill my 4/4 for 2 mana. Don't even take damage. So this has to be Mothership. What else are we doing? We're not obliterating, that's for sure. Replicating Menace, I guess. He has a second Attorney at Maul. Replicating Menace here is actually pretty bad. It's still Mothership, though. This goes here, that goes there. He goes face. It's not a good play, but it's where we're at in the world. Is a Nubricon just like in his bottom 4 cards? What's going on over there? Is a Nubricon specifically the 4th card from the bottom? He hasn't snap picked yet, which implies that a Nubricon is specifically the 1 card he hasn't seen in the entire game right now. He could also be looking for the Jailer. He could be looking for a different part of the combo. Or Tony. He might be trying to burn my deck as his win condition. Alright, I've come back and he has hero powered. That's probably a good start, but it could just be in a Nubricon play. It's not. Interesting. We play Attorney at Maul to silence this. Armor Vendor. So that's slightly more defensive than the list I was playing. I wonder what that means for his endgame. Do I just go face with Wargear here? Like, I know that he had... Well, I definitely don't go face anymore. Those are not that big, to be honest. Replicating Menace is enough to trade for 1? Then I Mothership the other one? That can't be right. I obliterate the other one. Is there ever lethal here? That sounds like lunacy. He's at 27 health, so no. But I was like, wait, I can obliterate one of them. I have double grave strength, 1's active. Had to think about it for a second. This is +3, they're at 9 health, they're at 8. I could trade in with this and then Mothership grave strength to kill both. As it stands, I can't, so it's gonna be replicating Menace on one of them, obliterate the other one, double trade in. No, hero power. So that's gonna happen. That's going to happen. We're going to hero power. I don't want all of those 1/1s, to be honest. But it's not like there's room on the board for them anyway. And now I've got a big wide board to threaten Grave Strength with, so that's nice at least. Of course, I'm losing minimum 3 minions from this board, but still. I've got Mothership Grave Strength, which is actually pretty scary. Hey, a Nubricon finally came down. Is my deck about to explode? Do I just lose? Is it finally happening? It should have happened a long time ago. I've been wondering why I'm still in the game, to be honest. Please, for the love of God, play the cards. You played a noob. You have the combo. Whatever your plan is, it was set in stone the moment you had a noob hit the board. How do you play a noob and not know what you're doing? Anyway, look forward to him burning my deck once the rope comes down. Oh, he burned his own deck. Because I don't have removal, so he's gonna steal my deck with Tony. Yeah. That makes sense. Yep. So all my shit's dead. I don't have lethal. You went face? What are you doing? Sir, that was a mistake. That was incorrect. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times 3 is 18. Yeah, that'll do. I'll emote for that one. That was fucking baffling. What are you doing? Why on earth would you not clear? And I know he died, and if he had cleared, it would have still killed him. It turns out with the amount of damage I had. But he wasn't playing around singular grave strength. That's why I was so distraught. Holy shit, that is not a game I should have won. So, having played this for a little while, I think I have an opinion on it, and I don't think I feel the need to play it anymore. My opinion is the deck is completely fine, solid tier 2 deck at least. However, why am I doing all this mech stuff? What am I really getting out of it? Because, like, the late game Mothership's not that valuable. The Wargear burn is really nice, but is it worth everything else that it costs me? The Bronze Gatekeeper's a great tempo play, but typically so is stuff like the Farstrider, right? Or not the Farstrider, the Hawkstrider Rancher. I don't think the deck is bad, but I don't think it's better than normal Unholy. I think it's just a neat oddity that exists, and I'm not really super interested in continuing to play it. And the main reason for that is because it's so frustrating when you get bad draws in a deck like this. The reason I didn't continue trying with Big Warrior is because that deck is so reliant on hitting your cards in a certain order. And all mech decks are like that. Because every mech deck wants to hit their 1-drops to enable their Discover effects or their Magnetize effects. It needs the curve out, and just having the curve is the high roll in this deck. So it feels like it's really strong, because the thing that every deck wants to do is better in a mech deck. But what actually happens is when you're doing the suboptimal thing, when you're drawing cards in a bad order, mechs are disproportionately worse than every other deck. I do think it's a good deck. I'm not going to delete it, but I'm probably not going to play it again for a very long time. I think cards like Replicating Menace are notable underperformers, even though they just won that last game. I don't know. It's an interesting deck, and I like that it exists, but I just have a really hard time saying that I genuinely think this is better than normal Unholy, or that it has any niche in the meta not filled better by other decks. But I'm not interested in rambling on about this any longer. I'm done for now. I've been Incoherent. If you enjoyed the video, please do like, comment, subscribe. All that stuff really does help the channel grow, and I'll see you in the next one.